Everyone loves superheroes, and if you don't love superheroes, then you're just weird, to be honest. Anyway, there are some superheroes that are, extremely overpowered. Now you're thinking, Hulk. He's pretty strong. Of course, man. And Thor, he is like extremely overpowered as well. Of course, man. And a guy like Superman is probably the strongest guy. But there's one hero that is stronger than all of these guys. That hero is, ladies and gentlemen, The Flash. The Flash made his first appearance in Flash Comics issue 1 back in 1940. So he's a pretty old guy, like 83 years old or something. Back then he was Jay Garrick. He gained his power when he inhaled some hard water vapor in a lab experiment. Yeah, granting him super speed and great agility. I mean, I don't know how you get powers from inhaling vapor, but hey, this was the 40s, dude. Over the years, there's been many, and I mean many different versions of the Flash. Barry Allen, Wally West, Bart Allen, some woman named Ashley Ho, Asian Flash, basically. But to make things a bit more clear, I'm gonna focus on one version of the Flash, because all of them are different with different feats. Anyway, I'm going with Barry Allen here. He's my favorite version, so yeah, that's the reason. Barry Allen made his first appearance in some weird comic called Showcase back in October of 1956. Basically everyone knows his origin story, but of course if you don't know, here it is. He's a forensic scientist slash chemic that ends up working really late to the point where he's sitting in his office, opens up some window, and a bolt of lightning just hits all the chemicals in front of him, splashing all over him and just giving him great superpowers. That explanation was maybe weird, but hey, it worked, I think. Anyway, I think at first it was like, hey, he's super fast. But over time, they introduced the concept of the Speed Force. The Speed Force made its first appearance in the Flash issue 95 back in 1994. I can't even speak, dude. The Speed Force has destroyed me. Anyway, it's one of 7 forces in the universe. Forces that were created by the Presence at the beginning of the universe. Who's the Presence? Well, he's basically God here. God in the DC universe. And this Speed Force grants the user high velocity by, connecting to it. Like a Bluetooth connection. Other forces in the universe are the ones that the Green Lantern Corps uses. Another one is the whole magic part where you have people using magic. Yeah, people like Zatanna. Anyway, back to Barry Allen. I think it's important to present some of the feats that Barry's done. Of course, he has super speed. The exact speed he can get to varies, to be honest. I've been searching a lot on the internet and like every source gives me a different number. The first thing that popped out was that he was traveling at the speed of this thing right here, which is just a bit extreme. In the Flash TV show, he was like moving around between 3,000 to 10,000 miles per hour. So it really depends on the writer slash comic. Like looking at this instance here, he stated that he thinks at the speed of light, that he perceives events that occur in 1 attosecond, which is this number in seconds. Yeah. Other abilities that he has is he can move through solid objects by vibrating his molecules. He has an insane healing factor that allows him to heal most injuries. In the TV show, I remember he had his spine broken and he was able to recover in like 1 day. His increased metabolism allows him to be immune to poisons and alcohol as well. Horrible life, man. Obviously, time travel is a big thing with him. He can create cyclones using his arms, throw lightning at people, speed reading, running on water like Dash from The Incredibles. Now looking at some of his greatest feats. His greatest feat is probably when he saved the whole universe from the Anti-Monitor's anti-cannon. A lot of anti here. Now you're asking, who is this guy, Anti-Monitor? This guy was a big deal back in 1980s with the whole Crisis on Infinite Earth storyline. Basically, this storyline presented how the universe was created and how the antimatter universe was created. You had one good guy called the Monitor and one bad guy called the Anti-Monitor. To make a long story short, the Anti-Monitor wanted to destroy the universe. So Earth's mightiest heroes had to save the universe. And Barry Allen ended up sacrificing himself to, save the universe. Another feat that is pretty impressive is the Flash running on clouds. Now you're saying like, what? Yeah, he was able to like attract crystals to his feet back in Flash issue 26. Another feat was him completely mastering Green Lantern's ring by channeling the Speed Force through his brain, allowing him to learn faster. And obviously the most impressive one, beating Superman in a race. Now we get to what the video is about, presenting how overpowered he is and that he can actually beat Superman. Barry Allen versus Superman. I think Barry beats him quite comfortably. The biggest quote-unquote problem with Barry is that he's not bloodlusted. He's not a bad guy, so he doesn't want to hurt people. And of course he doesn't kill people like, you know, the Reverse Flash. But let's say he was like the Reverse Flash for just this fight. First off, he would channel the right amount of speed force needed, allowing him to move much faster than Superman. This Google search here says that Superman's fastest speed is Mach 10, which is around 10 times faster than the speed of sound, while Barry's moved at the speed of light. So there you see, man, Superman wouldn't even see him. For argument's sake, let's say he's moving at Mach 20. He's winning there. All he needs to do is vibrate his molecules and completely obliterate the inside of Superman's vital organs. Or he could just travel around and find some kryptonite, then just stab Superman in the heart with the kryptonite. Or just time travel back to some ancient time and leave him there. Or just infinite mass punch to the face. I think the reason as to why this victory isn't completely accepted is because the Flash would be too overpowered. He would basically solo everyone. So for the story's sake, he's always weakened down, combined with him being extremely pure-hearted and doesn't injure people. Moving on, we get to some of the most famous races of all time. The races between Superman and the Flash. The first race was back in Superman issue 199 back in 1967, which just resulted in a tie. In the Flash issue 175, we got a second race, which also ended in a tie somehow. The Flash, however, ended up getting his first victory in World's Finest Comic issue 198. And then his second win came in Superman issue 463. After that first victory, it was basically Flash winning every single race, which is how it's supposed to be. Anyway, yeah, weird short video, I guess.